What's up, guys? As always, don't forget to check the video description down below for the best price on tools and parts I use in today's video. Today we got a 2012 Dodge Challenger. This one's a V6. The customer called me out. She has a coolant leak, so let's check it out. Hey guys, and before we start this video, I'm going to show you how to use this tool real quick. So basically, this is the tool set, and this is an after fact. I'll kind of show you this here in a second, but how do you actually use it? So this one, we're using the universal one. You're gonna pick the one that fits. It's gonna just fit right in there. You'll know, hey, that's the one that fits. And then you're gonna grab your little piece, sits right there. Just grab them out, and then this is gonna go in there. And we're gonna spin it on there. Then we're gonna pop that in there. And then just like your radiator cap, you're gonna make sure it's locked in like that, and then hold up on this. And then we're spinning righty-tighty from the top, and just make sure it's snug. A lot of times you can see there's cut marks here. That's because a lot of times I'll run a zip tie around this to hold it in, because it can pop off and you got 15-20 pounds of pressure on there and it pops off. It's no fun. But for the sake of this one, I know it's a bigger one, so it kind of stays on there. So you just click it in, and then we're gonna look at our pump here. And you just go ahead and start pumping it up. And I know the camera's probably shaking a bunch, but you can see I'm building pressure, and that's how you pump it up and get pressure on it. Now, you're supposed to get 15 pounds on most vehicles. It's 15 psi on there, and that is supposed to be operating temperature. It's at 15 psi. So that's how you use the tool. When you go to take the tool off, it's got a nice little valve here. Just kind of blow all the pressure off. If you're dealing with hot coolant, be careful, because this can get really hot, and then you can, to let the rest of the pressure off, kind of disconnect it like that and just let it come up the top if it's doing that. Again, be careful, you don't want to get hot coolant all over yourself. And then take it off, just pop the little clips, and that's it. So that's how you use this tool to do the pressure test. Now let's continue on with the video. Once you have pressure on the system, all you're doing is you're just looking for a leak somewhere. And when you see where it's leaking from, you come out of the car, and then once you see where it's leaking from, you could, let's say it's leaking from all the way in the back or something, you can raise the car, get up under there, always use a jack stand, and look, and you're just trying to follow the trail of where it's leaking. Common places are like hoses. Always check around like your hose connections. Radiator hoses are pretty common. Got a lower radiator hose down there, and heater core hoses in the back. Just check all the way around. Just visually inspect everything with a flashlight while there's pressure on the system, and that's what you're looking for. The hose that you need to replace, or the water pump, or sometimes there's freeze plugs and stuff like that. So you just look all around while it's got pressure on it. But the big thing is you'll see that drip, and you follow the drip or stream up to where it's at from under the car. So here we are. It is pressure tested, and how this works is basically you're going to get you a tool. Mine is from Harbor Freight. I'll have a link in the video description down below for something similar to this. But basically you'll have like some screw-on types, and then like a universal where you have these pieces right here, and that's what I have hooked up. This piece I'm touching screws onto here, and then you clip it over top of the thing, and then this will snap on with your little pressure gauge, and we are still sitting, we're just below 15. Now mine's leaking a little bit from there, but still, if I had a good and fast leak, it would be coming out right now. So let's just look under there, see if we got any leaks going on. So I pumped it up, it has pressure, so it's supposed to replicate if the car is hot and driving down the road, and I do not see any leaks. Now, this could be a bad sign, could just be a really small leak. There's a number of different things. It could be, sometimes you have a head gasket issue, it could be leaking inside. Sometimes you have a head gasket issue and it puts a lot of pressure on the cooling system, and it'll go way over 15 pounds. If we look at my little tool, we can see I had pumped it up to about 17 pounds, and now we're below 15. If in a case where the head gasket's blown and that combustion chamber meets the cooling system, I've seen this shoot way up with the car running and the tool hooked up, and maybe that's what it needs to leak. Maybe it's using the coolant, but that is why if you got it hooked up and you don't see an actual leak, it's typically something internal. It might be using the coolant, and that's like kind of a bad scenario. So what I'll do next is, with my pressure tester hooked up, I'm gonna go ahead and turn the car on and see what happens to this gauge. Alright, so I made an attempt to start this thing. Good old double jump, little battery to the jump spot, little jump box. That's where, if you do need to jump your car, that's where it's at. There's a little red plastic cover, and then there's a little post right there. And it wouldn't jump, it's probably because my batteries are weak and stuff, but the only other thing that can be done if you don't have a leak, I'm gonna refer it out because I don't mess with this stuff, but they have a little tool at your local parts store. It's like a little cylinder, and then they sell, it's like $8 or $10, this blue fluid with it. So let's say we did get the car to start, and what you're gonna do is you'll pour fluid in this little cylinder, and then it basically sits up on top of there, and it's got a little squeezer, and you squeeze, and it pumps air in. And I think it's if the fluid turns yellow, then it means there's exhaust in the cooling system, which means, hey, you do have a blown head gasket. From this point, I'll ask the customer, hey, have you ever seen white smoke? Did you ever really see coolant on the ground? I start to ask those kind of questions. The other test that can be done that you probably wouldn't be able to do at your house is you could do a cylinder leakage test. It's a CLT test, and what you do is you bring, for each cylinder, you bring the piston to top dead center. You screw in like a compression hose, like where you do a compression test, like one of those hoses. You screw it into the spark plug, like you take spark plug out, screw that hose in, and then you take an air line and hook it up to that hose, and then if anything's coming out, you're gonna see it come out of the cooling system, or you're gonna hear a bunch of noise. You can also run a compression test. That's actually probably easier than doing the CLT test. But you could run a compression test on each cylinder. A CLT cylinder leak test is more accurate, but you could do that to each cylinder. It's just a lot to get each cylinder at top dead center, and then run compressed air in there to see if you hear air or whatever's going on. But those are things that myself and you guys probably wouldn't do it yourself kind of thing. If this was my car and I had a head gasket, I'd be looking on eBay or Amazon for, well, probably just eBay for like a new engine. I'd just probably swap out the engine, have my father-in-law help me swap the engine, because it's so much work. You gotta take timing belt off, timing chain off, and then you have to get the heads resurfaced. So a lot of times it's better just to replace the engine. That's my philosophy. Or if you just got the money or you don't have the money, then you can save a little bit, but it's so much more work, I feel like, to do a head gasket, get your cylinders resurfaced, and then you're doing your time belt too, so you might as well do time belt and water pump and all that. But anyways, that is kind of the scenario that happens when I come to one. They say they have coolant leak and there's nothing actually hitting the ground. You can also, let's say you do this and you do your test like that, you can also drive the car. I might not be able to get this one to start, but you could drive it for 20-30 minutes, and then of course watch your temperature gauge, make sure it doesn't overheat, but then pull it back in your parking spot, leave it running, and come down and look under. It might be something needs to be spinning. Sometimes say it's your water pump and the seal is sitting just right, so when you do the compression test it's not leaking, and you actually get that water pump spinning and you're driving, and then it starts leaking. So you can always just drive it as well, but that's kind of where to start if you hook your coolant pressure tester up and there's nothing coming out that's really obvious. So that's going to conclude our little project. Thanks for watching. I'll see you next time.